So let's make sure whatever we do whatever the Bible says and not what we feel or what we think. And I can understand why you do it, because you gotta have some kind of solution when nobody giving you the answer. You ain't learning from the pastors. Because I'm gonna show you something. See, these are things Christianity told us. When you find out Christianity lied to you about one thing, you gotta realize you gotta cut off everything they told you. If you find one lie in the Christian church, cut it off. Because God ain't about a lie. God is about truth and righteousness.
Black but comely.
So let's go ahead and kill the misconception that the Israelites was, or God loves everybody. God chose the Israelites. Go back to Hosea 4:6. Now let's see why our people at the bottom right now. Why we don't have solutions. Why we don't have any answers for why we go through what we go through in the community. Why nobody can give us a solution. They tell us it's economics. They tell us we gotta go vote. They tell us we need to start businesses. They tell us every solution but coming back to the Bible. And I talked to my brother right here. He thinks the Bible is not true. The Bible is the only book on planet Earth that tells us who we was before we were slaves. Who were we before slavery, my brother? Who were we?
Who are you?
Who were we before slavery?
You were kings and queens.
Of where?
Of where?
Of where?
Of Africa.
Of Africa, the continent.
Who you was before?
I want you to see something. Africa, the continent. Listen to this. Listen. I want you to listen.
Who were you before?
Let's have a dialogue, bro. Let's have a dialogue.
Who were you before?
I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer, but I want to ask you a question. Africa is a continent of 50 plus countries.
Yeah.
What country do you say we from?
Where you from?
Where in Africa? There's 50 different countries in
It
Africa.
doesn't matter about the 50 countries. You from Africa.
Watch this. I got you. Now let me answer your question. Give me that in Exodus chapter 11, verse 7.
The one that you're not African.
I'm gonna show you something.
More for real.
I'm gonna show you something. Moor just means black.
You sure?
Moor just means black. That's all it means. We were the Moors, but that just means black. Read that.
Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord does put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
What does God do?
Put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
The last time I checked, the Egyptians are Africans. See, my brother, this is where you're wrong at. We're not Africans. We were never Africans. We are different. The Africans were from the tribe. I'm going to ask you, bro, if you listen, you can't learn from talking. You can only learn if you listen. Hold your tongue, bro. See, this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you. I'm reading the Bible. I'm not talking. I'm reading the Bible.
Where you reading the Bible from?
Hold up. I'm showing you where you're wrong at.
Slow down. What's the beginning of that Bible say? What's the beginning of the Bible?
Hold on, bro. Let me answer what I'm saying. You can't. What you trying to do is change the subject.
Wait a minute. Just
I'm showing you we're not African.
And read what it say in the front.
I will do that after we finish.
Okay,
hold
go
up.
ahead.
See, what you're trying to do is cut off. You're trying to change the subject in the middle of me showing you wrong. Read it again.
I'm trying to show you that.
Just listen, bro. You started talking. You started talking. Hold on.
Oh, the Bible.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord does put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So first of all, we're not African, my brother. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that we're not African. The Africans from they're from the lineage of Ham. We are different. Give me that. Matter of fact, go to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Let's see what the dictionary says. So you ain't gotta believe my word. Let's see if the dictionary proves you wrong. Zonder, give me Ham. Let's see this.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor.
I need you to listen, bro, because you're saying some stuff that's not true, and I'm going to prove you're wrong. And it's okay. Me prove it? Yes, I'm going to prove it to you. I do dictionary. So
what dictionary that is?
The Zondervan. This is written by historians, so it's okay. This is the Zondervan Dictionary. Read that.
He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negro.
Not the who?
The Negro.
So we are different from the Africans, my brother. So
That's
I'm just
right.
going to show you that your knowledge is wrong. Now go back to Hosea 4:6, and then then I'm going to show you about King James, because that's what you're asking about. What does it say at the front of the Bible? It says King James Version. I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain it to you. I just said that. If you just wait, if you listen, you can learn something, bro. You can't learn from talking. Read it.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Read.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Give me that in 1 Corinthians 8 and 2, then I'm going to explain King James. 1 Corinthians 8 and 2. This is why the Bible is here. The Bible is to show us where we are. Because we just keep going off of what we think, we're going to continue to stay in the hoods.
Right.
Our people ain't got no solutions for getting out the hood. We get comfortable in the hood because we think that we wise. We think we know something. We think without no kind of doctrine, we can figure out a way to get out the hood. No! The Most High God put us in the hoods, and it's only going to be the Most High God who get us out. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 2. And if any man thinks that he knoweth anything,
If any man what?
think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing.
The Bible tells us, anybody that think they know something, you probably don't know what you think you know. You say King James was give me that in King James in the Zondervan Dictionary. So let's see what the dictionary says, or should we believe what my brother says? Let's see if the dictionary is wiser than what my brother just said. He said King James was a homo, and this version is what King James wrote, right? This is what King James wrote, right? Hey, bro, talk to me now. You just talked to me a few minutes ago.
But you ain't listening.
I'm finna answer you.
But you
How am I
ain't
not listening?
You ain't
You
listening.
said King James was a homo. Did you say that?
King James was a homo.
And you said that he wrote this Bible, right?
King James wrote his version of the Bible.
Okay, now I'm gonna prove you
His
wrong.
version.
I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Watch this.
Go ahead.
Now, if I
Break
prove
it
you
down.
wrong, will you admit you're wrong?
Would you admit you wrong?
I will if you prove me
Okay,
wrong.
all
But if
right.
I prove you wrong, would you
All
admit
right.
you're wrong?
Would you admit you wrong?
You ain't answering the question. See, you
But
got
no,
a
would
spirit
you-
on you, bro.
Would you
I
admit you
will.
wrong?
Would you?
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
Yeah, I
watch
will.
this.
Yeah, I will.
Go to
Yeah, I
King.
will.
You got it?
Yeah, I will.
King, Bible. Look for Bible. And it's gonna show you King James. There you go.
King James Version. When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to James I,
Right.
who had been king of Scotland for 37 years as James VI. Several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation.
He authorized a what?
A new translation.
He authorized a what?
A new translation.
So, first of all, let me correct you right now. He did not write any Bible. All he did was authorize it to be translated because the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, the New Testament was written in Greek. How you doing, my sis? Come on up, come on up. I'm just showing my brother right now. My brother said King James was a homosexual. He said King James wrote the Bible. What I'm doing is showing him that he was wrong.
Sure.
So I'm showing you right now. We're reading the dictionary now. So are you smarter than the dictionary? Are you smarter than the scholars that wrote the dictionary now? Just off of your knowledge. I'm asking you a question.
Did a man
No, you're
write
not.
the dictionary?
Watch this.
Did the man
Several
write
months
the
after he
dictionary?
ascended the throne of England,
Hey sis, come here. I want to show you something because I want you to realize what we're out here teaching is right. We're giving our people the solutions to our communities, but our older people, what we're supposed to learn from, they have failed us. Watch this.
he authorized a new translation.
Does this sound like he wrote the Bible or does it sound like he just authorized it to be translated? Read it again.
He authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the bishop's Bible.
Right?
47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day were divided into 6 groups. 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New, and 1 for the Apocrypha.
Does it sound like King James wrote this, my sister? I'm using you because you're neutral. You don't have my side nor do you have this side. Does it sound like King James wrote the Bible? Or did he authorize it to be translated from the Hebrew to English? Because what speech do you speak right now? Do you speak Hebrew? So would you have been able to read it if it was still in Hebrew? So this was God using King James. So in these days we can read the Bible and wake up to who we are.
That's right.
Hold on. Cause we just, are you gonna admit you wrong?
What does it mean?
Are you gonna admit you wrong?
What does that mean?
Okay,
when I
keep
say
reading.
authorized?
Read.
What does authorization mean?
That means he gave the go ahead. He was the king at the time.
Read the
But
definition
hold
of
on.
authorization.
I got a question.
If I authorize
See,
you
he
to do
don't wanna
something, what's the
listen.
definition
See,
of
he's just talking. See,
authorization?
that's
I'm
emotion.
giving you permission.
Yes, he
I'm
gave
giving you
permission, but he didn't write anything.
So I'm giving you permission to write what I want you to
Hey,
write
so
in
what
this
you're
Bible,
doing,
right?
you just
Right
talking
or wrong?
about. My sister,
That's not what it said. He gave him permission to
He gave you permission to
He
translate.
was not the author, he
So
just
if
gave
I
you
tell
permission.
you to translate this part of the Bible, but I don't want this
could you
in
read
there,
Hebrew?
What
I
that
got a
mean?
question. I got a question. Can you read
What-
Hebrew?
No, I can't. Can you?
So if he didn't do
No,
this,
can you?
how will we have the Bible?
Can you read Hebrew?
I ain't trying to because King James authorized it so it can be translated to
You
English.
asked me, can I read Hebrew? And you
So
can't.
that's
But
what
you're a
that's
Hebrew
the
Israelite.
benefit of King
But
James.
you're a Hebrew Israelite, right?
So How can you prove
No,
that
hold on,
he was gay?
wait a minute. But you're a Hebrew Israelite,
He's
right?
a scoffer right now. So, sis, what I'm doing is I'm trying to show you.
There it is.
He told us we're Africans, sis. What I'm going to do is show you. Do you see where you find yourself on this side?
You're a Hebrew Israelite, but you
Give
can't
me that in Job chapter 7, verse 38. I'm going to show you. Our older people have failed us. He walking around telling us we ain't nobody. We just Africans. He telling you that we ain't got no solution. The great men of our past didn't do nothing. They was gay and didn't do nothing. Read that.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Job chapter 32 and verse 9. Great men are not always wise.
So start at verse 7.
Verse 7. I said, days should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom.
The Bible says people like that with gray hairs, those are days. He said they should speak. They should teach us wisdom. But what wisdom do he have? He said he don't believe in the Bible. The Bible is the only book on planet Earth that tells us who we were before slavery. Who were we before slavery, my sister?
Nobody.
I know, and that's the problem. That's what he's supposed to be teaching us. But he's out here teaching us we're Africans. We don't believe in the Bible. We ain't got no solutions. We're supposed to stay in the hood and just be happy where we at. And as I'm trying to teach him, did it look like he was open to learn? No, he gave me his word right here that if I prove him wrong, he was going to admit he was wrong. Did it sound like he wouldn't admit anything? No, he said King James wrote the Bible. We got it recorded. He said King James was a homosexual. I asked him to prove it. He couldn't prove nothing. So his pride made him just walk off, scream a little bit and walk off. So what we're going to do, my sister, I'm going to prove to you, do you believe in the Bible? Okay, we're going to show you the Bible in the ways that it's never been taught to us. Because according to the Bible that you learned, did you ever find out that, who is this man right there? That's Jesus, right? And that's the way we were taught the Bible, right? How do we get to heaven?
We have to do all good things.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you what I was trying to show my brother. This Bible is the solution for everything that we've been going through in our life. Think about it. Up under this image right here, and up under you being taught to only follow the 10 Commandments, has it solved anything in the black community? Have it given any solutions? Have following just the 10 Commandments done anything to save our people out of oppression that we're going through? So let me show you why it haven't had any kind of effects. What you got? Hosea 4:6.
The book of Hosea in verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
First of all, my sister, this is not Jesus right here. Everything you were taught about the Bible is wrong, and that's what I'm gonna prove it to you. Don't ever believe what somebody tell you. Make them prove it. Watch this. Read it again.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Okay, so in your church, who do they teach you God's people are? His disciples. That's his only people.
Oh, and whoever followed.
So what was the race of his disciples? Matthew 2 and 6.
I don't know.
It's okay. That's why we out here, sis. We're gonna give you the answer to everything I just told you. Watch this.
Matthew chapter 2 and verse 6. And thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
So you see the brother just ran. He ran because he didn't want to hear no knowledge that he don't have. So what we're gonna do is show you who is God's people according to that scripture he just read. Israel. Who are the Israelites today walking this earth? Okay, who are they? I'll prove it to you. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. I'm going to show you who the Israelites are today with proof from the Bible. So you can realize this whole Bible was written about you. God's people is not anybody that believes. His people are the Israelites. That's what we just read. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
This is the whole book of Deuteronomy was written to the Israelites. Watch this.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
This is a promise that God gave to the Israelites. He said, if you don't do all of my commandments, this is when he brought them out of Egypt. He saved them from slavery in Egypt. Are you familiar with that story? Moses said, Pharaoh, let my people go. This is what he told them. He said, if you don't do all my commandments, I'm going to put all these curses on you. I'm just going to show you one curse. Give me 68. I'm going to show you one curse. And I want you to look at this picture right here and tell me who did this happen to. What happened to the blacks and how we got over here on this land? Slavery. How did we get over here to go to slavery? I'm saying, what transportation did we use to get from the middle? We used boats. They used boats to transport us over here on slavery. Do you think that's one of the curses God promised to the Israelites? Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
We were slaves in Egypt. God was threatening us. He said, I just brought you out of Egypt. I'm going to take you back to slavery again with ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee,
Watch this.
thou shalt see it no more again.
Watch this right here.
And there
Wherever he brought you at with those ships, what's going to happen?
ye shall be sold unto your enemies
What happened when we got the slave ships? Watch this.
for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
He said, no man shall buy you, no man shall save you, because we were bought. That's why he said you're going to be sold, so no man can save us. So is that not what happened to us? We still ain't saved right now. We're still in bondage right now. That's why we still get redlined in the neighborhood. That's why we still get the worst education. That's why they still give you the worst medical treatment. We don't get the same stuff that the rich people get. And that's what the Bible is telling us right here. We are God's chosen people. His chosen people are the Israelites. Let me show you what color Christ is, Revelation 1:1. And then I'm going to show you some of the things we got to do. This is the solution on how we get to heaven. Because I remember I asked you that too, right? Watch this.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Verse 14, let's see what Christ looked like. And I want you to look at this image you told me was Jesus. I want you to tell me, do it sound like Christ?
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
What color did they say Christ's hair was? So is his hair white? So does that sound like the image that they gave us? Remember, during slavery, what did they tell you if you was caught reading?
Oh, that's a,
If you was caught reading during slavery, what would happen to you?
oh, you gonna get whipped?
You're going to get whooped. You're probably going to get put to death. Read.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass, my sister? And I want you to see something now. Where did we learn Christianity from, sis? Where did we learn Christianity from? Where's that cross at? Like it's on this picture. I want you to see something, my sister. This is where they forced Christianity upon us. When you look through these pictures, you see the cross. What did they force this at on us? This is where we learned Christianity from, the cross and all the stuff that comes along with it. We learned it during slavery. That's how they was able to give you a white image of Jesus, because you couldn't read. You would have been killed if you was caught reading and saying, the Bible don't say he's white. You would have got killed. So read it again.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
The Bible says Christ's feet look like they burned. Does anything on him look like they burned? So does that sound like the description the Bible just gave Christ? No. That's why I say everything you've been taught is a lie. You told me the only thing you're supposed to do is keep God's 10 commandments, right? Okay, where in God's 10 commandments does he say thou shalt not rape? But give me that in Deuteronomy chapter 22. I'm going to show you. There's laws in the Bible that outside of the 10 commandments, but that's the only thing they teach you in the churches. Guess what? They want to keep you in sin. So what we're doing is we're coming out here to show our people, y'all are on a highway to hell if y'all don't learn the rest of God's commandments. Read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
So, you see, if a man forces a lady into sex, what is that called? Rape. There's a law on do not rape. But they don't teach these things in the church, so therefore a lot of wickedness going on in the churches. Give me that Ezekiel 22 and 26. This is what's happening in the churches, my sister. And this is why we have to come to the corner, because the pastors ain't gonna come out here and deal with the people. They want you to come to their church, they want you to pay tithes, they want you to do everything that benefits them, but they ain't doing nothing to save you from your wickedness, or teach you how to come out of your wickedness. Read it.
Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 26. Her priests have violated my law, and have profaned.
Hold on, who violated God's law?
Her priests have violated my law.
Do you know it's more than 10 commandments? It's something called God. When Moses came down from the mountain, he came down with laws, statutes, and commandments. These are the laws that God gave us. Do you know what it's called when you break one of God's laws? What is it called? Sin. When you break the laws of God, it's called sin. Go ahead and finish that.
Her priests have violated my law.
Which means that her priests are teaching to sin, read?
And have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane.
So, think about this. In churches, what day do y'all go to church on? What's the Sabbath day? Well, what day is supposed to be the Sabbath day? You don't know? Give me Exodus 28. I'm just showing you the lies that we've been taught in church. Everything you've been taught has been to make sure you don't follow the Bible. Think about this. In church, don't they give you Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays? Where is that in the Bible? So what holidays did Christ celebrate in the Bible?
Isn't that Easter?
No. Christ didn't celebrate either one of those. But the ones he celebrated, guess what they don't teach you in church? Those. Passover, Day of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles. They don't teach those in churches, but that's what's written in the Bible.
I know about Passover.
But your church don't follow it. My point is exactly, what's the point of knowing about it if you ain't gonna do it?
Here, but it's related to that.
All praise. Watch this.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
It says 6 days shall you labor and do all your work. What's the first day of the week? Monday is the first day of the week. No, not basically. What's the first day of the week? When you look at your calendar, what's the first day you see over there on the corner? Sunday. So what's the seventh day of the week? Saturday. So read it again.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
Which day is the Sabbath day? Saturday is God's Sabbath day. Read.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
Okay, how about this? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Let's say the Sabbath day was Sunday. Let's say it was. How do you keep the Sabbath day holy?
I'm not going to work. I'm not going to do none of that.
So what should we do?
I'm going to give him his praise and honor. That's when me for myself, I'm going to fall on my knees and give God the glory that he deserves.
That's a great mindset, but what does God tell us to do? See, we got to learn how to follow what God said. Give me that in Acts chapter 5, verse 29.
That's the day of rest.
Watch this. I'm going to show you. It is a day of rest, but it's something God instructs us to do, and it's things that he tells us not to do, which our churches have been breaking.
That part of what not.
We'll show it. We'll show it to you. Watch this.
Acts chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
So let's make sure whatever we do whatever the Bible says and not what we feel or what we think. And I can understand why you do it, because you got to have some kind of solution when nobody giving you the answer. You ain't learning from the pastors.
No, but at the same time, when I'm on my knees giving God the glory and praise, I need him to go ahead and talk to me at the same time so he can tell
God talks to us through the Bible.
But at the same time,
God talks to us through the Bible. The church is talking.
You can read the Bible all day. You can read it all day. But at the same time, you got to have that peace that only he can give.
Watch this, because I'm going to show you something. See, these are things Christianity told us. When you find out Christianity lied to you about one thing, you got to realize you got to cut off everything they taught you. If you find one lie in the Christian church, cut it off. Because God ain't about a lie. God is about truth and righteousness.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word